Now, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us to this session of the European Research Days 2020 Indonesia. My name is Zuzana, and I am part of EURAXESS Worldwide. I am part of EURAXESS ASEAN. I'm based just next door in Singapore, but I'm also in charge of Indonesia. And it's my great pleasure of welcoming so many of you. I can see how you keep joining this webinar on a very interesting country, a very young, a very dynamic, a very innovative partner in Europe, Slovakia. I don't want to talk too much today, but I want to introduce you to the excellent all-female panelists that we have lined up tonight. And I will just hand over to my colleague. And you can see everybody in the background today has the EURAXESS sign. My colleague at EURAXESS Slovakia, Silvia Kotulicova. So please, Silvia, introduce us to your colleagues.
Thank you, Suzanne. Good afternoon, or rather good evening in Jakarta today, right now. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's Slovakia R&D session. My name is Silvia Kotulicova. I work for the Slovak Academic Information Agency, short SAIA, that administers several scholarship programs and also supports mobility and career development of university students, PhD students, and researchers. We also promote the Slovak higher education sector and study and research opportunities in Slovakia. So just very briefly for me. And today with my colleagues, we'll present you R&D landscape, collaboration, and funding opportunities in Slovakia. So I hope you will enjoy. Before we start, however, I would like to ask a few questions. So that's why we prepared a very short poll. So Zuzana, can you start the poll, please?
I will do. And some of you who joined us earlier have already asked the first question, but we have a lot more questions here for you. The first one is, where is Slovakia situated? So please start answering and share with us what you know. So the answers are coming in. 80% say Eastern Europe. Now it's 50% Eastern Europe, 30% Central Europe. So almost everybody is voting. I think we have half of all the votes that have come in now. I think we close this now. So 50% Eastern Europe, almost 40 say Central Europe. Now it's even. So Silvia, what is the correct answer?
Okay, so thank you. We are actually situated in Central Europe geographically, but also mentally. We consider ourselves Central European, so those who voted for Central Europe were correct. Okay, can we go to the next question, please?
Yes, so the next question is, what do you think, how many people live in Slovakia? Is it 5.5 million, 3.5 million, 15 million? I mean, it's obviously less than in Indonesia, which is a huge country. So let's see what our audience knows. So a lot of them are tending towards the smaller side. So people think it's about 5.5 is in the lead right now. So let's see, maybe a couple more seconds. So people, I think the majority thinks, we're closing this, thinks it is 5.5 million. Is that the correct answer?
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Yeah, that's right. As you mentioned, yeah, this is the size maybe of half of Jakarta, but actually this is the population of our country, but we are not the only country in Europe with such small population. There are also others, so we are not so unique, but yes, excellent, you were right. Okay, can we go to the next question?
So Slovakia keeps a record per capita in which of these areas? In car industry, chemical industry, or basic metal industry? What do you think? What is Slovakia known for? What is the main industrial activity? Is it cars, chemical industry, basic metals. So lots of people not entirely decided, but now it's a close call between chemical industry and basic metal industry. I think a couple more seconds. And the majority of people think it is the now it's either chemical or basic metal industry. Now, Silvia, please, what is it?
Yeah, maybe it will be surprising for you, but it's actually car industry. In fact, we are the world's leader in car production per capita, per inhabitants. We have 4 car plants, and we produce cars like Kia, Jaguar, Volkswagen, and Peugeot, Citroën Peugeot. So really, for such small country with 5.5 million inhabitants, we have 4 big plants in Slovakia, and this is something that we keep record in. So,
well, I did not know that. Well, we have 2 more questions. So the next question is, which Slovak internet security company offers and distributes antivirus and firewall systems worldwide, including in Indonesia? Now, which one of these is it? Is it ESET? Or SYGIC, or easy to pronounce, Dataland? Which ones do you think are actually a Slovak internet security company? I don't know the answer to this one, but our Indonesian colleagues seem to be better informed. So the majority right now thinks it is the first one, ESET. Yes, the clear winner here. So almost 50% think it is ESET. So Silvia, which one is it?
again, very correct. Excellent. Actually, this is a Slovak company that has also hub in Singapore, but they really distribute their antivirus solutions worldwide, and including Indonesia. They got even a website in Indonesian language, so you can check it out, and maybe you find out that even your computer uses this either antivirus or firewall system. Very good, again, very good guess.
And then we have a final question. I personally love this one. There has been a poll in Slovakia in June 2020 to ask which one is the most trustworthy institution in Slovakia. Now, is it the government office? Is it the Slovak Academy of Sciences? Or is it the Supreme Audit Office of the Slovak Republic? Which one do you think? And yeah, I think people have a hunch here, yes. The Slovak Academy of Sciences clearly in the front run here. Yeah, it's a clear winner. It's not the government office. I hope no one is watching, taking this the wrong way. But yes, I think our audience today clearly decides it must be the Slovak Academy of Sciences.
Well, again, correct. So you know very well Slovakia. I'm surprised, even if some of them haven't heard about the country before. But yes, that's correct. Well, I must say that we have rather new government since March. And actually, they started their governing in parallel with COVID pandemic, so very hard situation for them. But in long term, Slovak Academy of Sciences is very trustworthy. It's considered to be very trustworthy institution, fortunately. So we trust our experts and researchers. So thank you very much. Excellent guess, I must say. And now maybe we can switch to my presentation. Zuzana, would you? And we can carry on further. Okay. Good. Can you see my presentation? Just
yes,
feedback?
we can. Yeah. Perfect.
Good. Okay. So these are pictures from our country. As you see, we have some mountains, castles, and a very kind of European architecture, which you might know from other towns. So European towns. So I start with this geographical location of our country. So our country is situated in the very heart of Europe, and it's in this red circle. We are neighboring with, or we are Our neighbor countries are Poland, Ukraine, Czech Republic, Austria, and Hungary. Slovakia was established in 1993 after the Czechoslovakia split into Czech Republic and Slovak Republic. We are part of the European Union since 2004. Our official language is Slovak language, and we use currency euro since 2009. Population, I already mentioned that, or you already guessed. It's 5.4 million, and area is 49,000 kilometers roughly. Our predominant religion is Christianity, and the capital of Slovakia is Bratislava. Actually, the picture you can see, this is the picture from Bratislava Castle. Okay. We are also members of international organizations like NATO, Schengen area, UNESCO, OECD, but also CERN, WHO, and European Space Agency. As for our political system, we are parliamentary democracy with presidents and 8 self-governing regions. Now, few facts and figures. So GDP per capita is about 90,000 USD. Unemployment rate, well, before Corona crisis, it was 5.5%, and life expectancy was about 77 years in 2017. As I already mentioned, our strongest pillar of industry is car production, but also we are strong in electronics industry, chemical industry, mechanical engineering, and information and communication technologies. As for research and development in Slovakia, so we might say that these activities can be or are integrated in four major sectors. The first sector is higher education sector. It consists of 20 public higher education institutions, among them 9 traditional universities, 5 University of Technology, 1 University of Economics, and also University of Veterinary Medicine and Agricultural University, 1 Agricultural University, and 3 higher education institutions of art and music. Then there are 3 state higher education institutions like military, police, and medical schools, and 12 private higher education institutions. Another, or the second major R&D sector is state sector, and this consists of Slovak Academy of Sciences, which we already mentioned, and I must say that representatives of this organization are with us today, so they will present this institution in detail later on. Then there are also state departmental research institutes and state non-departmental research institutes, for example, Statistical Office of the Slovak Republic. As for private sector, there are 377 R&D organizations, and non-profit sector consists of 16 organizations. I don't know why, but I cannot see the pie chart. Can you see the pie chart on my presentation?
No, we can't, sorry.
No. Wow, this is very strange. Because, and now?
Yes.
Okay, so I will stay in this mode. Okay, is it okay with you? I don't know why. Okay, good. And as the central role in creating good conditions for research and development, and also for cost-effective utilization of state budget, and also coordination of R&D activities in higher education sector and state sector, is the Ministry of Education, Science, Research and Sports of the Slovak Republic. So if you would like to know more information, so you can find this information, detailed information on their website. Okay. As for other figures, so structure of expenditure of research and development by sectors are the most, I mean, 54% come from private sector, 24 from higher education sector, and 21 from state sector, and 1% comes from non-profit sector. As for the research and development personnel in individual fields of science. So as you can see, the most people are employed in technological sciences. These are only researchers, not support staff. Then natural sciences, and as for the so-called soft sciences, so this is the field of social sciences. And the total number of people employed in R&D sector in Slovakia is 750. For successful implementation of research and development and innovation activities and projects, and also for delivering of renowned and cutting-edge innovations or solutions. So the companies, R&D companies, researchers, and also support staff, they need some support services. So I will mention, or I will name just few of them. So first one is, for example, Business and Innovation Center Bratislava, which is member of umbrella organization European Enterprise Network. And they provide support service in innovative processes development for small and medium enterprises and technology transfer. Another supportive organization that provides support services is the Slovak Investment and Trade Development Agency, SAIA, which designs all kinds of stimuli to increase the influx of the foreign investment and also promotes Slovak innovation companies abroad. And the last not the least, I would like to especially draw your attention to EURAXESS. It's a unique pan-European initiative where European Union and 42 countries cooperate together so they can assist researchers and research organizations across all sectors. The core activity of EURAXESS is provide information and support for mobility, but also career development of researchers. And EURAXESS also cooperates with 8 global research hubs throughout world. It's called EURAXESS Worldwide Offices. And this is very effective or very good networking tool so that non-European researchers can be fully informed about activities and about collaboration possibilities in Europe, but also they can be fully informed about opportunities to pursue their research career in Europe. So one of them is in ASEAN, and Zuzana is the officer of such office. So if you also in future, not only now, we will need any information on the initiative and on the research in Europe, so please reach out to her. Also very effective tool for or very relevant source of information is European EURAXESS portal and 41 national portals. Especially as for this portal, I would like to draw your attention to EURAXESS Jobs and Funding database. This is the largest research database with over 800,000 research positions published, for example, only in 2019. This is the very user-friendly, clickable database where you can find the job that suits your profile according to your criteria. So you can search for as for countries, your research field, your number of or the stage of your career, and etc. So please visit the portal and you will find more. And there is, of course, much more information and also some training tools for you as a researcher. In Slovakia, SAIA is the coordinating institution or organization of EURAXESS, and it consists of 5 offices. So one is in Bratislava, the capital of the country, and 4 other that are situated in university towns across Slovakia. And our network has been extended by Slovak Academy of Sciences just 3 months or 4 months ago. So what we do actually? So we provide services like and information like funding of research mobility, visa and residence permit once you get the funding of your research, social security, health insurance, taxation, fine, but also issues connected to daily life once you relocate to our country as a researcher, like finding a doctor, school, driving license. We also promote Slovak higher education institutions abroad, and we also organize webinars on career skills and so on. So we provide over 1,600 consultations annually, actually. We also publish publications. We also create or publish publications. So one of them is, for example, on visa and entry conditions, but also very again, very useful publication. It's International Researchers Guide to Slovakia, where you can find all the information I have presented so far, and my colleague will be presented after me. And we also have our national portal, and there you can find the information on practical issues connected with your relocation, but also about the research landscape, about funding opportunities, and also about career development. We organize seminars, trainings and workshops, and also networking social events for international researchers that are staying in Slovakia. And these days, of course, online webinars, as the on-site events are not really possible. And not only for researchers, but also for professional administrative staff at universities and PhD students and so on. We also help to create positive environment by amending laws on foreigners, residence and employment, national visa for government scholarship holders, and also we help to ensure specialized office hours for international researchers and mobile students at the Foreign Police Office in Bratislava, but also in other university towns across Slovakia. And we implicitly also monitor the implementation of European Union regulation and activities. So this is from my side all. I would like to give the floor to my colleague, Karla, who will present funding opportunities and collaboration opportunities in detail. So if you have any questions right now, you are most welcome to ask, and I'm available, of course, or feel free to ask. But if not, so I can give floor to my colleague who will present you the collaboration opportunities in detail. Is that okay with you? Susan, is there any question?
Yes, we have a couple of questions. Maybe before we continue with Karla, just one question. How international is the researcher population in Slovakia? And would you perhaps already have researchers from somewhere in Southeast Asia that are in Slovakia?
Thank you for this question. Actually, I don't know the exact, I must say, I don't know the exact number of the foreign researchers currently staying in Slovakia, but the number is increasing from year to year. And the most frequent countries we get researchers from are Ukraine, Iran, India so far, but also we have some researchers from ASEAN countries like Vietnam, we have some Thailand and so on. And we really hope that after also this session, a more researcher that would be interested in coming to Slovakia to pursue their research career, the number of such researcher will be growing. I must say, I don't know the exact number, but I will find out and I will provide it after the session, if it's correct, if it's okay with you.
Thank you so much, Silvia. So obviously a growing international contingency of researchers, and already some of your Southeast Asian peers are in Slovakia. So I think, Karla, you are now the presenter. If you would like to share your slides. Yes, it's working. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Zuzana. Thank you, Silvia, for introducing me and giving me the floor. So my name is Karla Zimanova. I'm Deputy Director of SAIA and also the National EURAXESS Slovakia Coordinator. And I'm really glad that we can all here represent EURAXESS Slovakia in this European Research Days in Indonesia. And since, while Silvia has already introduced SAIA a bit, I'll just briefly do it also myself. You can see that the SAIA stands for Slovak Academic Information Agency. We are a non-governmental, non-profit organization. We're established even before the Slovak Republic was established, so we have been working since 1990. And our mission is to promote internationalization of education and research in Slovakia. As Silvia mentioned, that we administer various scholarship programs, and I'll be briefly talking about one of them, which is open to the whole world. SAIA also promotes Slovak higher education and research abroad, so that's why we are here today. And as Silvia mentioned also, that we provide advice on mobility relocation issues and facilitate career development events. As a scholarship agency, we also run a database of scholarship and grants, so you are welcome to have a look on this database. And now to the scholarship program, which is open to the whole world and which is also open to researchers and PhD students in Indonesia. On top of it, it's also open to students, but since today's focus is on researchers, I will be speaking about the conditions of this scholarship program focused on these two research groups. So within this scholarship program, you can come to Slovakia for 1 to 10 months. It was established back in 2005 or 6, and it is funded by Ministry of Education, Science, Research and Sport of the Slovak Republic. It has its own website, which is really easy to remember. It's scholarships.sk. Well, what kind of scholarship you can expect from the program? You can see the amount for students, but also for PhD students. For PhD students, the amount together with a group of researchers or teachers, artists, without PhD degree and at the same time with the research experience less than 4 years, the amount is about 700 euros. And then we have a category of researchers with PhD degree, and there we distinguish the experience with less and more than 10 years, and it's around 1,000 euro per month. On top of it, PhD students and students are allowed to apply for a travel allowance. They can apply for it only along with their scholarship application. It's based on a flat rate, which depends on the distance. And if the distance is more than 7,000 kilometers, it is 1,000 euro. So who are the eligible PhD students to apply for such a scholarship program? those whose higher education or scientific training takes place outside Slovakia, and they must be accepted by a public, private, or state university or a research institution in Slovakia, which is authorized to provide a doctoral study program, and they are accepted for an academic mobility to study, teach, conduct research or artistic activity in Slovakia. Who cannot apply? So there are those PhD students who are accepted for full degree higher education in Slovakia, or those who are already studying PhD studies in Slovakia. Then when it comes to teachers, researchers, and artists, eligible ones are those who are invited to a teaching, research, artistic stay in Slovakia by institutions, by an institution with a valid authorization to carry out research and development, which is not a business company and has its seat in Slovakia. The only excluded group, let's say, are teachers, researchers, artists who do not have a PhD degree or equivalent with more than 4 years of work experience. Exceptionally, it was extended to 7 years of work experience, especially if force majeure is applicable. Like, for instance, the PhD degree couldn't be awarded due to the pandemic situation, or if there was a career break, for instance, for parental issues, etc. So these exceptional issues are then assessed by the selection committee. When we speak about the work experience, we count also the period necessary for obtaining PhD degrees or PhD studies, but we count only up to 6 years of PhD studies in total as a work experience. So this is also important when calculating the amount of monthly scholarship. There is a mobility rule applied, which, since you are based now in Indonesia, it's probably not applicable to you, but it's good to know that only applicants can apply if they have spent less than 15 months within the previous 36 months before the deadline in the territory of the Slovak Republic. So, yeah, the mobility is really part of the program conditions. Application procedure is online. You can see the program website where from you can apply for the scholarship. There are 2 deadlines per year. One is quite close to this date, which is the end of October. Within the October deadline, you can apply for scholarship stays in summer term of the current academic year. The earliest date is the 1st February to come, and within the April deadline, which is the 30th of April, you can apply for scholarship stays during the next academic year. At the earliest is the 1st September. As I have mentioned, all the applications are online. I'll briefly introduce the documents which are required to submit with your application. It's your CV, detailed program of your stay, scan of applicant's diploma of the highest academic degree achieved, invitation letter issued by the host institution in Slovakia. So the stay has to be like agreed before. And list of publication, there exists a prescribed template which is necessary to be used. All the documents need to be submitted in English or even Slovak, of course. But if the original document was issued in a different language, then it has to be translated into English and submitted together with the original. So both the original language document is required together with the English translation. PhD students also need to submit motivational letter, recommendation letter by supervisor, and confirmation issued by the applicant's home university, confirming that the applicant is a regular PhD student at the home institution. How the website looks like. you are recommended to have a look at the program terms and conditions. It's actually the call for applicants, and there are also tips for applicants where there is in more detail described what is expected from different documents and how to understand the timeline of the program. And here you can also find the entry point for submitting your application. Probably you are not familiar with the possible hosts in Slovakia, so I provided you with some links where you can check higher education institutions available together with their study programs, PhD study programs, also the place in Slovakia. There is a database of all research organizations, and you can always check the Slovak EURAXESS portal for more information. So this would be all from my side, and I really hope that you will decide to explore Slovakia in more detail, either with our scholarship or with opportunities provided by our next speaker, which is the Slovak Academy of Sciences. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karla. There were, of course, questions where people were wondering how to identify a Slovak host institution, but you have already presented all the information. So the message to the audience is the information is there, and you can, of course, do your own research and identify a suitable host institution. Maybe a short question. Is there a particular thematic focus regarding this particular scholarship, or is it open in principle to all different areas?
It's bottom up, definitely. It's open to all domains of research. And maybe if you're interested in a specific topic, like a tip from academic community would be to search for papers published in your specific research field. If there is a co-author from Slovakia to address and whom to like contact person who you would like to cooperate with. So probably this would be like the personal contact, the first contact I would recommend from the academic experience. But if you haven't identified a person like this, so then there are the open databases.
Thank you so much. And this, of course, is a scholarship that is a mobility scholarship that funds, a short-term stay in Slovakia. So there are quite a few questions asking whether there's also a full PhD scholarship available, perhaps.
Well, actually, there are like state-funded scholarship schemes. So if there is an institution who would like to admit international PhD students for the studies, the institution can publish such a call for interest, for instance, on the EURAXESS EU portal, that they are seeking an international applicant for the specific field. But it depends on like openness of the particular institution if they are admitting, because they are the scholarship, state scholarship available, but it's up to the decision of the institutions if they are seeking an international PhD student or if they are seeking a national applicant. So probably I would search for such opportunities on the European EURAXESS portal. We try to promote it in Slovakia at least.
Thank you. Maybe before we turn over to our colleagues Zuzana and Dominika, a final question to Silvia and Karla. Someone asked a very interesting question, and this person is interested in the Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions Individual Fellowship, the Postdoctoral Research Fellowship, and they're wondering whether they could also apply with a Slovak university for this particular fellowship. Maybe you can just share your advice for someone who's interested in this.
Yeah, Slovakia is definitely eligible country for applications to apply for Marie Skłodowska-Curie Actions. You're really welcome, and I would really encourage you to do so. Well, on top of it, like there was extra budget for this kind of countries, new EU countries available on top of the general Marie Skłodowska-Curie budget. So if you haven't managed as an applicant to receive the fellowship via Marie Skłodowska-Curie actions under the very similar conditions, there was like extra budget for these kind of fellows. Available from different budget. This is also foreseen for the future, I believe, but definitely under the newly prepared Horizon Europe, there will be postdoctoral fellowships available under very similar conditions, to my knowledge, and you are really very much encouraged to apply together with Slovak.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed, it's the widening fellowship. So there's, as Karla has said, there's extra budget currently in the kitty. So it's an extra incentive, I think, to reach out to institutions in Slovakia and try to obtain a supervisor there. I think with this, Silvia, if you agree, we turn over to our next speaker. Maybe is it going to be Zuzana who's going to start? No, Dominika. Give the floor to you now. So you can share your screen and start the presentation.
Do you see presentation?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Dominika Olsovska. I'm an employee of Slovak Academy of Sciences. I work for Department of Research and Development with my colleague Zuzana. Slovak Academy of Science was established on 2nd of July 1942. So we have a quite long history of research and development in Slovakia. So nowadays, Slovak Academy of Sciences is the most important research institution in the Slovak Republic and 13th most important research institution in the region of Eastern Europe. It is the top national scientific institution which carries out research in 45 institutions in the field of natural, technical, agriculture, medical, and social sciences, as well as in the humanities. Slovak Academy of Science is structured to 3 scientific sections. First one covers physical, space, earth, and engineering sciences, part of which is, for example, Astronomical Institute, Institute of Physics, or Institute of Informatics. Second sections covers life, chemical, medical, and environmental sciences, part of which is, for example, Institute of Chemistry, Polymer Institute, or Biomedical Research Center, which is currently medical support leader during the new COVID-19 virus situation in Slovakia. Our virologists participate in the development of the first certified Slovak test for detecting the virus COVID-19. We're able to visualize the virus particles and also assist with laboratory testing. The third section I would like to mention is social sciences, humanities, arts, and culture. Part of which is, for example, Institute of Archaeology, Institute of Philosophy, or Institute of Oriental Studies. Slovak Academy of Science is a state organization. That means it's fully supported by state. Our central body is Ministry of Education, Science, Research and Sport. Our annual budget is 70 million euros. And Slovak Academy of Science currently employs approximately 3,000 employees. Our representatives act as the advisors of Prime Minister of the country. Representatives are also members of the Council for the research, technology and innovation and other bodies involved in the decision making. We are, of course, proud member of EURAXESS Slovakia network, and this year Slovak Academy of Science was granted the HR Excellent in Research called HRS4R. Also, please don't forget to visit our website for more information. Let me introduce you some grants and mobility programs covered by Slovak Academy of Sciences. First one I would like to mention is called Doctor Grant. It is the program for students of daily form of doctoral study. The program is dedicated only to students of second and third year of studies. Another requirement is that one of the organization of academy is your training workplace for PhD studies. Call is open every year. Deadline of the call is always on 31st of August. And the grant amount is up to €2,000 for one calendar year per student. For example, in 2019, we have received 88 applications, of which was 31 granted or awarded. Please also visit our webpage available in this presentation. Second grant or fund is called Stefan Schwarz Fund. This fund is for creation of postdoctoral positions at Slovak Academy of Sciences, gives an opportunity to employ excellent Slovak or foreign PhD graduates up to 4 years after their thesis defense. The postdoctoral program is for graduates of full-time doctoral studies. Deadline for proposal submission is 1 per year, always on 31st of September. We offer opportunity for 20 fellows per year, and the length of the grant is maximum for 3 years. Academy Institute offers permanent positions after successful fellowship, of course. Please see more information on our webpage. And now I will, my colleague Zuzana will continue with other mobility programs. Hello?
Hello. Hi. Hello. My name is Zuzana. Sawadika. I have visited Asia many times, so it's very pleasure to present the grants within the Slovak Academy of Sciences at this webinar. Thank you, Zuzana, and my colleagues Karla and Silvia invited us for this event. We have just sum up a few grants that Slovak Academy of Sciences is offering. We didn't want to, pile all the details. So please, as Dominika said and emphasized many times, please see our website. There are more information. I'm sure you can find your own grant, which your research can fit into, or your it depends also on in what phase of your research career you are in. Okay. So I will continue with mobility and reintegration program called MORPRO, which is financed by the Slovak Academy of Sciences only. It is for scientists with PhD or any equivalent degree. There is no limit in age or work experience. There was call opened last year. Unfortunately, this year it was there is no call, and we don't have any information whether there will be one next year. But we are hoping this program will continue. The program, the project, you can apply for 4 years length. There are already 3 fellows working at the academy. It took them some time to come over to Slovakia due to current situation. So I hope they will continue with their research. And very important grant scheme is SASPRO 2, which I would like to attract your attention. This program is Slovak academic and scientific program that Slovak Academy of Sciences received funding under the Horizon 2020 under the Maria Skłodowska-Curie actions. SASPRO 2 is a continuation of the SASPRO, let's call it 1, which was already a successful program, and we have very positive feedback from our fellows. We had 40 fellows at our previous project, and 16 of fellows are employed, stayed at the academy, and even after the projects, they stayed within the organizations of Slovak Academy of Sciences, and they were offered the permanent position, which is a very success for us, and it's good for the project as well. Okay, so the SASPRO 2 project is a continuation of our previous project. The value added is that this project is in cooperation with 2 biggest universities, which is Comenius University in Bratislava and Technical University. So actually the pool of the hosting institutes comprises of 70 institutes that you can actually apply with your own project, which is, I'm sure, a very wide spectrum. All information could be found on the internet. You will find, because I don't want to bother you with all the details, but all the informations are in there. We follow the Marie Curie mobility rules, so this is basic rule that we have. You will be offered training, whether it's the research training, but also the training on transferable skills. You will be also offered to undertake the secondments within the non-academic sector. So I'm sure this offer is interesting. This is actually quite very hot news because the call is just open from the 2nd of November. So please check our website. Yes, my son. So please check our website. Please check our website for more information. So yes, working from home has some disadvantages when kids coming home. Sorry for that. Please accept my apology. Okay. So as said, we will be hiring 40 fellows. As Dominika already said, within the Slovak Academy of Sciences, we have 45 institutions spread really widely. Plus, we have another institutions within the universities. So I'm sure the bottom-up approach in this case will be the case, and I'm sure that if you check the website, please register, and we are looking forward in seeing you in Bratislava or Slovakia. So please, if you have any questions, just let us know.
Well, thank you so much. Don't worry, I have that all the time. My daughter always loves to just stand behind me.
The youngest one is whatever. He doesn't need me any time except I'm talking over the phone, right?
Well, thank you so much. I think there was a lot of very interesting information while we were listening to this. And I'm going to share my screen now, I actually went on the website to look at this really, really interesting program. So I would really encourage everyone who is interested in Slovakia to go here. And as we heard, 40 open postdoc positions, and
Yes.
it says first call deadline the 1st of March. So this would be a most opportune time right now to start
Yes.
exploring this fabulous opportunity.
Yeah, it's very hot news. That's why we have accepted the offer to participate on the webinar, to spread the information, and Asia is the right place, I think.
Exactly.
Many...
And it fits exactly with the questions that we keep receiving, because people are asking, are there postdoctoral opportunities? And I think this is exactly
this is the
answer
one
that people were looking for. Exactly. So I would just really encourage everyone. These co-fund projects are incredibly prestigious. These are really excellent opportunities for you to take your career to the next level. Now, we have almost run out of time, but I'd like to just ask a few questions about institutional collaborations, because there are quite a few people that have joined us tonight that are interested in exploring opportunities for their universities or their institutions, departments in Indonesia, to join forces to kind of start some collaborative efforts with Slovak universities. Maybe we start with Silvia. Silvia, how active are universities in Slovakia in their international collaborations, and are there specific websites one could look at, or maybe specific funding programs that one could explore?
Okay, thank you, Susan, for giving me the floor. Actually, many or few universities in Slovakia, as far as I know, they cooperate with Asian countries via a so-called Erasmus Plus program. It's an exchange program, and they exchange their students or staff and so on. So as far as I know, they already cooperate with some universities in Malaysia, for example, Kuala Lumpur, and other South Asian countries. This is not particularly my expertise or area of expertise, so I will have to check out, and I will maybe provide you information after the webinar. But our universities are very active to explore that region and to set up the cooperation with the universities situated in the region we are talking about. Another very good way how to maybe start future institutional collaboration is to use a national scholarship program. First, to start maybe with individual mobility. So some researcher can come to Slovak University and use the procedure that Karla mentioned, that they can find the contacts, people, and so on. And once they come here and see how it works, and they plans for a common project and so on, so then institution can sign a mutual agreement on cooperation. So for universities or organizations that haven't set any cooperation with Slovakia's universities, this is a very good way how to start from the bottom, from the very start, the cooperation, because this national scholarship program is not only for researchers, it's also for university teachers. So maybe university teachers can apply and come and give a lecture, for example, for 1 semester or 2 semesters, and this is the very good starting point. And yes, so from my point of view, this is the best way how to start collaborating with our institutions. But as I mentioned, I will check out and make some survey how many or which universities already cooperate with institutions or universities in Southeast Asia, and provide this information to you after the webinar.
Perfect, thank you so much. I think this is great advice for university teachers, and maybe to explain that, in that basically means lecturers, so university academic staff, to participate in these programs, which I understand would fit in well with the Indonesian obligation of sabbatical. So you might want to kind of explore that, and then while you're there, explore face-to-face the opportunities for institutional collaborations. I think this is a very good idea. Now, as we don't have so much time, I'd like to just ask maybe the other panelists as well. If you were approached by someone today, what would be your key reason why our audience members should explore these opportunities, and why should they plan to spend some time of their research career in Slovakia? Maybe Zuzana, as the last speaker, what would be your key message?
The key message, if you haven't been in Europe, Slovakia maybe is the best country to start with. There are many opportunities, and I'm sure you will find your many opportunities whether to explore your research career and also your life. Slovakia is nice. It's a very small country. It's very homey. People are very gentle, very warm-hearted. There is, beautiful country. We have wonderful food. The girls are nice. So yeah, please do welcome.
Well, we can see that the girls are nice, definitely. Now, Karla, what would be your advice? Someone who's still hesitant and because they've probably not been to this part of Europe, what would be your encouragement to potential applicants?
Well, from my point of view, Slovakia is like hidden part of Europe, Central Europe. It's not that well known worldwide. We have many local collaborations with the countries that are neighboring countries, but also with countries around Europe. There are really very good research teams which are renowned in their specific discipline. And while coming to Slovakia, you definitely also set up your networks with other European countries around. So there are many publications which arose from the collaboration of Slovak researchers with other researchers around the world. So definitely Slovakia is not isolated as a little country, but when coming to Slovakia, you also come to the wider European region to collaborate with.
Thank you so much, Karla. And Dominika, also another question that just came in. How important is it to be able to speak Slovak? Is it Slovak, the language?
Yes, Slovak language.
How important is it to be able to speak this to be a postgraduate researcher, perhaps?
I think the Slovak language is the hardest language in the Europe to learn. But our employees or our colleagues, researchers are fluent in English. So I don't think there will be any language barrier during your research or development in Slovakia.
Mm-hmm. And if I may add, so usually population or people in university towns, also young people, and in generally also in services, they speak English. Maybe in distant rural areas, it's maybe harder, but it's everywhere maybe like that. But you don't need to learn Slovak language, as it belongs to Slavic languages, which are really, they are complicated for other nations that they use different languages. But you can also learn Slovak language once you are here. There are a lot of opportunities to learn, and also before relocation. And once you learn Slovak language, it's big advantage because it's very similar to other Slavic languages like Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, and so on. And suddenly you can communicate, or at least to understand the meaning, even if you travel to other countries that use this language, because this is like a large group of languages that are spoken in Europe. So we, of course, invite you, and we would encourage you to learn maybe some basic first, but once you like living here, so I think you will feel like learning Slovak language. But for your professional life, I don't think it's really necessary for very start, because as I mentioned, that not only people are at universities, they speak English, but also generally population in town speak English.
Thank you so much. Although I have to say, it's always you always have to look at it as an investment. You know, I'm just thinking, if you are from Jakarta and you go to Slovakia, you do research there, you learn the language, and you come back, you'll be so employable. I just imagine when you just look at, you'll be one of very few people that have that linguistic ability. So you always need to kind of look ahead and think that how will that set you apart. And I think actually it's a beautiful language. I can't speak it. I speak a little bit of Russian, so I think that's probably similar. Yeah, so I think a great opportunity. So ladies, I think that was an excellent session. So we've kind of shown the torchlight onto a country that maybe not so many people in Indonesia were familiar with. And I think we're going away tonight with a lot of information. And the key message, I think, for us to summarize is there are lots of opportunities. There are lots of open doors, there's lots of information, and there's a lot of support. So for those of you that are now really keen to explore this, first of all, you will receive all the information that we've shown tonight in your inbox tomorrow, so you can look at it. And of course, you can contact these ladies, and they will, I'm sure, support you to make sure that you can spend some time in Slovakia soon. With this, I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to sharing your expertise with us. Thank you so much. And thank you to our audience members for joining us tonight for this session. And with this, I think it's time to close. Everybody, please stay safe and healthy and make the most of the opportunities. Thank you very much and good night, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.